defense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Ready. Blue ready.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Bucs on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. The Bucs on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Ready. Blue ready.
And they'll go on the ground. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Newton on 1st down. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Oh, my Cam. There's times when I'm not analyzing up here. I'm just appreciating. Led NFL quarterbacks in rushing last year. He is truly the ultimate weapon at that position.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Back to the ground on 1st. It's McCaffrey. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. So we come upon halftime. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. On the return, it's Kenyon Barner. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack.
Funchess is free. Touchdown, Carolina. Devin Funchess with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Gano now to add the extra point. Gano the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gano out to kick this one away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10.
Ready. Blue ready.
From the gun, Winston. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss.
Blue ready.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And Rodgers has it over on the right side. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his legs.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
They go play action here on 1st down. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. K1 short. Busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fake.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Working out of the gun, Winston. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Carolina getting set to take the field. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the score.
Funchess is free. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. 4 touchdown passes now for Cam Newton. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain it.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Gano out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
23 yards on the play.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. And on the ground they go with a running back. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. The former LSU Tiger Dante Jackson on the stop.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Ready. White 25.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On play action, Winston. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked off by James Bradbury. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And now running right through it. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good game. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Funchess has it complete. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Cam Newton with his 5th touchdown pass of the game. And the Panthers just continue to pour it on. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Extra point try good by Gano, and that will extend this big lead. Gano out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Heavy. Ready. Blue lady.
First down, Winston. And that's off the mark, incomplete. The tight end, Cameron Brate, was the target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. And they'll go with the ground attack here. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And the Panthers have recovered.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection. It caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. Following the fumble recovery, Newton. And that's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
2nd and 10, Newton again. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Newton now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10.
4 down.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he stopped immediately there. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And he fends him off, escaping the pressure right. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the 1st. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
Here we go, fellas. Four down. Under set. 180. Right there. 54. Right there. 54 Mike. He can't hang.
From the red zone now, Newton. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down. This is McCaffrey on the give. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
And that's the type of run that you'll live with. In this game, he's had a good number of carries. He's just been unable to really break off anything substantial.
They'll try the air now with Newton.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They come out here in the I. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Panthers have got it on cruise control. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Gano out to kick this one away. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out. 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down.
Ready. Blue ready.
On second down, Winston again. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard. Complete.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Winston now. Step back. He can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Mario Addison in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now Jameis on second down. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. Call it a pickup of 7, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 15.
Ready. Black 22.
Winston now from the 50. Over the middle, complete. That's Howard. And he'll be taken down inside Carolina's 15. And that goes as a gain of 37 on third down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a handoff working right. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The Bucs on third down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They go play action. Winston. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. A nice little juke. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. Now, remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but if the ball's in the air, they treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Gano the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A gain of 6 there on first. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Ready. White 25.
Now Winston. Evans has it left side. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Jameis now on first down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Again, it's Winston. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hey, we are ready. Black 25.
On 1st and 10, Winston. He hits Rodgers in the flat. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Panthers have recovered.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Carolina getting set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Newton now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Newton's going to throw it. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. Now Newton will bring. The Panthers up to go for 2. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he will dive into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is successful. And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. Gano out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Winston now to throw on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. One last shot now for Winston. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Panthers, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead they fall to 5-7. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints.
I never did anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop out of morning, I had me some rest by the morning, I had a six by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder. You got to picture me. I shouted pulling up with a real bad, bad. You too. Dripping my swag. Dope out tag on. I got it in the bag, man. Getting all type of cash. I'm a general true. I never did anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back. Carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning. Skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning. I had me a pop out of morning. I had me some rest by the morning. I had a six by the morning. I got on a meat on the morning. The rats keep me up on the podium. I had a in my shoulder. You got a picture.
You got a picture me. Send me calling. Ready for war like Korea. Headlining shows out in Poland. You should be cleaning my mansion. My peasants disgusting. Why don't you act like a Hoffman and go get to Dustin? Yeah, latex on my. Go clean my crown. Can't hear the haters from way up here. Body goes.
Here in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they've handled all comers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 of the way to a perfect season, and now's where it really starts to get into your mind. We'll see if it affects their play in any way.
First carry for the rookie Nick Chubb. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5. Following the penalty, Chubb. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Call it a gain of a couple there as it'll leave him with a 2nd and just 3.
Not a whole lot there after the penalty, but remember, it was 1st and 5, not 1st and 10, so now they can keep grinding out first downs and good things can happen for them. Just 2nd and short coming up.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half. In some of these shorter games, turn into bigger runs later.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beefeaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu. I'll tell you that much for free. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. A shotgun snap for Newton. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 32 that time.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
Here's Newton. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He may try and run for this. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one.
I like the reasoning. It's too far for a field goal, and it's too short to really get a big field position edge on a punt. Let's go for it. And sure enough, it's the ground game that's able to convert for them on 4th down.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. And that's going to be caught by Funchess for a Carolina touchdown. Devin Funchess with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Panthers are going to take a first quarter lead. Graham Gano on for the extra point. Extra point try good by Gano. And that makes the score 7-0. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And Carolina scores to cap it off. Gano out to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Mayfield on play action. That is caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Time with Johnson. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield. Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Throwing, Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 7-0 is our score as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. Newton. He's going to float this one deep right side. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now it's Newton. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Well, so much for Time that you spend in practice, because for offensive linemen and running backs to get in sync, that requires a ton of practice time, a ton of watching tape together, a ton of really getting to where you're thinking with one mind on every single play that's called, every single run, because you want to know how you guys are going to block it. They want to know how he's going to run it, what kind of cuts he's going to make, and it's really...
Funchess is free. Powers touchdown, Carolina. Devin Funchess with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Gano for the extra point. Gano the extra. Extra point. Gano out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Mario Addison in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Handoff comes to Chubb. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.